Okay, so this is solar panel update number 2. This one is going to cover my electric bill. So how much am I saving by using my solar panels, or am I breaking even or losing money or what? So let's look at the numbers. All right, so my billing statement, this is for PSO in Northeast Oklahoma. First item on there is rate billing, and then in September was the first time this came on, but they have a winter storm rider. Next one is cost of fuel, and they have a county tax, and then they have the current charge, and then I pay my bill is averaged. They take how much I used during the course of a year and then divide that by 12, so I pay an average fee or payment every month. And then how much did I actually save during that month using my solar panels. Okay, we'll start out with September. In September of last year, the rate billing was $105.21, and this year it was $26.55. Last year there was no storm rider. Okay, cost of fuel last year $49.39, this year $2.34. County tax last year was $2.83, this year it's 53 cents. The current charge last year was $157.43, and the current charge this year was $32.29. Last year, my average payment, I paid $119 on September. This year, I'm going to pay $139. Okay, cost savings. It was $125.14 cheaper this year than it was last year. Okay, now I'll explain a little bit about my monthly average. As you can see, it's going from $139 all the way down to $123 in my December. In January, they're going to recalculate it, so that number should drop quite a bit in my January statement because I used a lot less electricity these 4 months, so that number will continue to drop till after 12 months. It'll be whatever I've averaged over the last 12 months with my solar panels. So I really won't get a good number what I'm going to pay for the next 20-30 years until September of this year, when I've had 12 years of solar panels. Okay, so that's kind of what that is. That number's going to just keep on dropping. Okay, so October last year was $60.47. This year was $22.72. The cost of fuel last year was $25.83. This year it was a minus $11.38. And you say, okay, how do you get a minus $11.38? Well, I had excess kilowatts last month. So the next month they pay me for those kilowatts, and it ends up, after they charged me for the kilowatts I used and then subtract the extra kilowatts out, I ended up with a minus $11.38. Tax $1.58. Current charge last year $87.88. This year it was $13.60. Average payment last year was $121. This year it was $132, and I saved $74.28 in October. Okay, November, rate billing $56.80, $22.15 this year. Cost of fuel last year $23.39. This year was minus $12.09, which means I had excess kilowatts the previous month, which would have been October. I had excess, so they check it off on the next month. Tax was $147 last year, 41 cents this year. The current charge last year was $81.66. This year was only $11.84. Monthly billing last year was $123. This year it's $127, and I saved $69.82 this year over last year. Okay, and then the last one is December. $61.46 for the billing rate. Last year, $34.44. This year, of course, the Storm Rider, $33.06 for the cost of fuel, $10.79 this year, $177 in tax, 83 cents this year. Last year was $98.29. This year it was $48.03, and last year is $123. This year is $123. So a savings of $50.26. Okay, so this cost of fuel has a lot to do with how many kilowatt hours my solar panels produce compared to how many kilowatt hours my solar panels we use. So that's where that difference, that's where the price comes down, is because we're producing kilowatt hours, which reduces the amount of kilowatt hours that the solar power sends to us. So that number is pretty even. Okay, so far, so if we take all of these 4 months and we average them like they do over the course of the year, we get 32.29 plus 13.6 plus 1.84 plus 48.03 equals, divided by 4 equals $26.44. So if this carries out through the next 8 months, my regular electric bill next year will be $26.44. So it'd be less than $27. Where at the beginning, this last August, before I installed my solar panels, I was paying $148. Okay, that's what my average over the previous 12 months was, $148. So if this carries out, this average carries out through the whole year, the $26.44, that would be my payment for my electric bill payment. So let's say round it up, from next year, my electric bill will be about $30. That's if we can keep this average, okay? Over here, that gives us, over these 4 months, it had a total savings of $319.50, okay? So one other thing you need to remember, if you look back at my previous videos, the solar panels I have in my house are only designed to recoup 72% of what we actually use. So excess, if we have these months where we have excess kilowatt hours produced, that's way above the 72% that they're only supposed to give us in any given month. So yeah, so if you got any questions about how these billings and any questions on this, drop it down in the comments. I'll answer as best I can. And like I said again, I live in Northeast Oklahoma. PSO is my power company, so this will be different if you live someplace else. So another thing is the cost of the kilowatt hour went up. It went from 0.043333 to 0.047968, I think, is what the new one. So it went up a tiny bit. The cost of a kilowatt hour. So on the cost of fuel, that's going to go up just a tiny fraction, a little bit. So, like I said, any questions? Drop it in the comments, and I'll be putting out these every couple of months to show how I'm doing and how much I'm saving and how much the solar panels are producing. Okay, thanks for watching.